for YouTube. But hello and welcome for the big one. This is IDRL Stay at Home Championship Season 1, Episode 6. We are bringing to you a race night from our studios in Mumbai and broadcasting live via our IDRL Facebook and YouTube channels. This is a perfect occasion tonight for our great teams and pilots who you see on the leaderboard over here in group numbers 1 and 2. Very, very strong teams that are competing right now. Let's just take a recap of what happened what happened the last week. It was Mach 1 and Blitzkrieg that had qualified into the finals, and it was a very, very close competition between them. And finally, Blitzkrieg took the win at the very, very last moment. So this time, Mach 1, Team Consistency, Blitzkrieg, and D Team, all of them are going to really beat it out on a wonderful, wonderful track. Here is a track that's going to absolutely blow you away, and it's going to be absolutely a spectacular night. So it's a long night of racing that awaits you. Be comfortable, take your positions wherever you are on your laptops in your home, on your couches or your bedroom. And this is the episode to watch as we start IDRL Stay at Home Championships Season 1, Episode 6. Let's get through the roster first. Semi-final group 2 is going to play first. We're going to have, as it's shown here, heat 1, heat 2, 2 and heat 3, but we're going to have six pilots run at the same time. So Bangos from Mach 1, Napster from Team Consistency, Logic from Mach 1, Astronaut FPV from Consistency, Nishant Mach 1, and GVFPV finally from Team Consistency. All of these six pilots are going to go together into the first round of this semi-final group number 2. The qualifiers were done the previous day, and they have had enough practice also on a wonderful track which we'll be showing you in just a few minutes. So just catch on to your breath as we just go through this roster one more time. So there'll be round number 1, then there'll be round number 2 and round number 3 for these six pilots, and there'll be a big heat for all the six pilots again. That's going to be the format that we're going to follow through into the finals. So let's just switch straight into the action over here, bringing to you right in the middle of the action here. This is a wonderful track. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's night lit. You can look at the moon in the virtual world. And we are getting ready over here for the first round. It's at the count of less than 5. And let's go with Logic taking the lead. It's a very, very close competition between Logic and Napster out here. It's for spots number 1 and 2. And let's just switch to Logic speed out here so that we can have some form of continuity. Look at those wonderful triangles. This is an absolutely gorgeous night, gorgeous track, and we are in for the thrill of our life tonight. Logic is really banging it hard over here, really going through all those gates in a really fine fashion, in a controlled loop out here. Mind you, it's a tight track, but he is doing an absolutely fantastic job. And Bangos chases him also behind him, but Logic is far away into gate number 35 and will be soon into lap number 3. Let's switch to Bangos' speed because he's at position number 2. He just did the dive gate out there, and now he is going through some of those split S's and dive gates, and then through a couple of another split S's. And that's the view that looks like from Bangos' FPV video feed. There is, you can see pilots having their trails. Look at that gorgeous trails that are being left behind by multicolored pilots. At this point in time, we have Nishant and Napster and Astronaut and GV. Score number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch to some of the other feeds out here. Look and see how Nishant spectacularly did that wonderful dive gate out there. And also this kind of element is also there that's keeping this very exciting. This is the AZNT track, and Logic has completed first in the loop. Bangos is there second, Nishant is third. We'll be waiting for a few other pilots. I think it's Astronaut and GV who are yet to complete their share of this round number one, and points are already assigned. So we'll go on to the next race. So that was how the score ended up. Now let's go on with the next round. Immediately we are starting again. Nishant right now in the lead. So let's switch to his view. But Astronaut is taking the lead. Looks like he's going to be a more consistent pilot. Astronaut going through those triangles. Wonderful night. There are trees out there. The track is gorgeously lit up in those multicolored elements. Look at that orange and violet, and it's such a beautiful view. It looks like you are in a different universe altogether. I hope all the viewers out there on our FB and YouTube channels are absolutely taking it out, enjoying it, and do spread the word to your friends and families and whoever you can possibly share this information with, that we are live with an absolutely thrill buster of a track here at IDRL Stay at Home episode 6. And let's switch to some of the other pilots out here. Napster is a pilot that has really done well. He just needs to stay a little bit more consistent, because he starts in a very sound fashion but then falls off behind the other pilots. You can see Bangos and Logic are really ruling the track right now. Bangos is chasing Logic out there. So very close competition between Bangos and Logic. So it was just a few seconds of difference between them. While we now switch to Nishant's view, AZNT track that we are using tonight, and Nishant is also completed. So let's see some of the other pilots out here. At number 4 spot is Astronaut, and that's the end of this round also. So let's uh, let's get ready for the next one. This is going to go at a hyper speed now. So we're just going to do 4 top spots, and the rest are going to be automatically assigned the points. So that's the name of the game over here. Through GV's view, that we have not covered the track so far. All the trails, look at that, going through the gates of one-on-one. A beautifully lit track. He's crashing a little bit, so we switched to Napster out there. Napster currently trying to really bang it out at spot number 5. Logic somehow is not taking the lead at this point in time. It's a little unusual, but Bangos is in the lead right now. Let's see what he's up to. If Bangos is going to win this one. Logic was continuously winning the last 2 ones. Bangos's time has come. It looks like he is far ahead of the rest of the guys out here. But Nishant is quickly covering up the ground behind Bangos. So let's just switch to Nishant. Look at that. Nishant is following Bangos out here, and it's going to be Nishant that's going to run towards Bangos as he completes, and he's also into lap number 3. He's getting closer and closer to Bangos. How many gates away are we now? We are about 20 gates away. That is pulling the distance away. Bangos has done his best, and 40 gates are complete for Bangos. He lands up in position number 1. Nishant, meanwhile, is really stepping it up his game, and he will also finish a few seconds behind Bangos at lap number 3, while Logic covered quite a bit of ground out there as he completes lap number 3 out there. And finally, let's head on to Napster, Astronaut, and GV. Astronaut, another fine pilot. He's used to really some of these fine high-class tracks, and that's the end of the round. So you can see the positions of the pilots over there from Bangos to GV at the very end. So 3 rounds are complete. Now comes the big round, or the 4th round for these pilots. So whenever these pilots are ready, we'll be getting to go. GVFPV looks like he's still in lap number 3, but it doesn't matter because he's position number 6 at the moment. So Um, Very, very interesting this is turning out to be. We are now heading into the last one for a semi-final group 2 at less than 5, and let's see what happens in this finale round for the semi-final group 2 pilots. They are absolutely going to go closer and closer to each other. Look at that, each of them taking that turns and surrounding themselves with each other's trails. It's a little confusing for a newcomer viewer to see what's going on, but we will switch. Let's see how the third person view is looking over here. We can see a third person view also, but it's being shadowed by the trees. So we will not try to use a third person view unless some of the gates are really out there that are lit up. Like this one, you can see Nishant is taking the lead right now. Nishant and Bangos, look at that. Close competition between them. Wow, they are really like a few gates away. But I think Bangos really stepped it up to this game, and Bangos took the lead. He's right now gradually progressed into lap number 3. So let's come back to this feed. Logic is in lap number 2, and he's progressing towards 3. A really quick pilot. He should be able to get nearer to Nishant if Nishant gives him some leeway. But Logic is an intelligent pilot, so he'll be. Oh, but there you go. Logic did not really tune in at the last moment where he had to, and Nishant completed with the third lap and positioned himself in spot number 2. Astronaut, meanwhile, going head on head with Logic. He is about 14 gates away from Logic. Logic looks like he is completed at position number 3, and Astronaut will take position number 4 as we switch into the feeds of Napster and GB. Napster also looking good, but not good enough for the first 3 spots. He finishes in spot number 5, and finally GB in spot number 6. So that was the amazing story of semi-final group number 2. Let's now turn our attention to the spreadsheet out here and the scorecard. Let's take a look at what's going on out there. We can see out there between Bangos and Napster, Bangos won, taking Mac 1 to 3 points first. Logic and Astronaut, Logic did it the same for Mac 1. Similarly, Nishant for Mac 1. This was almost a very, very clean sweep, I would say, of Mac 1. So lots of points out there. You can group them together, but looks like Mac 1 has qualified into the finals. Now it is the time for a semi-final group number 1 stage. Let's take a look at who is descending in this heat. And we have Devnath, Dishank, Rex, 25 milliwatt, Chesh, NJ. Please make a note that these are individual team kind of competitions between the heats, but all 6 pilots are going to go at the same time. So 3 rounds and then 1 final round. That's how we are giving the points out here. So let's start with semi-final group number 1. If all the pilots are ready, and switch our attention to the pit area now in this gorgeous event. Uh, we are calling it at less than 5. Here it goes. We have some of the finest pilots out here. Rex is looking good. Let's see where Devnath is up to, because Devnath is the first one. Devnath and Chesh is now following him. Chesh is a very, very strategic and intelligent pilot. He will want to wait it out behind Devnath until the very last moment and then gather speed. Devnath, meanwhile, cruising away into the far land out here at AZNT track. Dishan coming in from behind from nowhere, and he is at lap number, gate number 40 now. Lap number 2. So it's Devnath and Dishank. Let's take a look at Dishank out there. Wonderfully done. He's looking in fine control tonight, Dishank, and he is really taking it up to Devnath at this point in time. So it's Dishank's view. Let's switch to some of the other pilots. Chesh was in position number 2, but he's fallen down to position number 4 at the moment. So it's between NJ and Chesh. Look at that, NJ just ahead of Chesh. NJ is that green trail and Chesh right behind following him. It's a very, very close competition between the two. And who will be the third spot winner? It's clear that Devnath is position one. He has finished the round. Dishank is also completed in position number two. Between now NG and Chesh, it's very, very close. Wow, what a thrilling entertainer this is turning out to be. But looks like at the very last end, NJ has taken himself up into position number three. So Chesh finishes just a little behind him. And unfortunately for 25 milliwatts, who is also a wonderful pilot, this round turned out to be a little too tough. So let's go on with the second round of semi-final group number one when these pilots are ready to go. And also, viewers, do drop in your comments, and we will really see once we are in between the gaps to give you all the responses to your comments. So keep feeding in your questions and suggestions, and keep giving us a thumbs up. And do spread the message that we are live and going all over the world via our YouTube and FB channels. There we go. At the count of five, the pilots have taken off. It's always great to see the start from NJ's point of view, because we can see all those trails. Look at that multicolored trails out there, plus lighting up of the gates also, plus the moonlight shining out there. It's one kind of a heaven of a track out here. And usually the saying it's it kind of a hell of a track, but we say that it's a heaven of a track. One kind of a heaven of a track. And here we have now NJ and Rex. Let's switch to Rex, who is also doing pretty well out there. Now Rex turned out to be a little behind in the last round, but he's looking in full shape. But NJ is looking solid out here in the second round. Looks like he's gathered a lot of learning material, and he is stepping it up. Dishank has just taken it up. So between Dishank and NJ, it's going to be close racing. NJ is still at position number three, just a few gates away from Dishank. Will he cover enough ground in the lap number three, or will he keep himself in position number three? Between Rex and NJ also for position number three, they are almost at the same level. So let's look at Rex. He's chasing NJ, while NJ is chasing Devnath, Dishank. Oh wow, what a competition this is. This is an absolute thrill buster, and we are really enjoying this tonight. What a game, what a fine performance this has been from these pilots, these really talented pilots and their teams, represented by Mach 1 Consistency, Blitzkrieg, and D Team. They're doing a fine job. The three spots are taken. Rex also is very close, but unfortunately in position number four. What a good try that was, and that's the end of the round. So that was look at that scorecard out there, and it's hardly a few seconds away. Very, very competitive pilots. We'll go now straight away into the third round for semi-final group number one when these pilots are ready. Till then, you can have a look at those timings. Um, Devnath at 1 minute 18, a very, very professional pilot, and Dishank 1 minute 36. NJ. Let's go at the count of less than five whenever you are ready. Yes, there we go. At three, two, and one, the pilots have taken off. Let's again start it off with NJ, because NJ comes in from behind usually, and he competes really well. He takes the second spot behind Devnath, but Rex. Oh my God, Rex is really getting competitive. Let's look at the view from Rex's angle. He's maintaining good ground between NJ and Rex, but NJ is really taking him up, and he's it's really between Rex and NJ right now. It's really two or just three gates away, hardly a gate away now. Rex a little bit of imbalance, should be a little bit more perfect. But let's take a look at this from NJ's point of view as he chases Rex out here. And look at that. He's chasing that blue trail, which is Rex's. And now over comes Rex. Wow. Now NJ is in the lead suddenly, and he goes to the dive gate. And Rex is falling almost. Wow. And NJ again into spot number two. So the spot number two is really flipping up between Rex and NJ. What a hell of a competition this is between these two pilots. None of them want to give up. None of them want to cede their way because it's eventually a point for the team that's going to be really crucial. Look at that. NJ from the other team competing head on, really taking it up to Rex. What a fine pilot this is. Both of them amazing. While Dishank is also chasing NJ at spot number 4. Chesh is a little bit slacking out there at lap number 3. So is 25 volts. And wow, what a close competition this was between NJ and Rex. And I hope you all enjoyed it. And Dishank has also completed it. And Chesh, we will see Chesh now complete that over as 25 milliwatts is in the last spot. So look at that scorecard, very, very close. Look at that between Rex and NJ. It's hardly, I don't know, you can calculate the milliseconds out there, Rex and NJ. 25, 65 milliseconds, 64 milliseconds to be precise between Rex and NJ. What a close competition. And it was absolutely thrilling to watch them at positions number 2 and 3. They were just flip flopping 2 and 3, NJ sometimes 2, Rex sometimes 3, but Rex in the end turned out to be 65 milliseconds faster in the lap time than NJ. A big round of applause for Rex. He truly deserves it, and he is really taking it up for a team Blitzkrieg out here. All the action now goes towards round number 4. Let's see if the pilots are ready. Whenever we are ready to go, guys, on this one. Hope you all of you are enjoying it. Stay seated in wherever you are. It's going to be finals time after this semi-final one. This is the last round of the semi-final, and it's going to be crucial one. This is going to be the decider between Team Blitzkrieg and Consistency. Who is going to go into the finals? So let's see now through the eyes of NJ. All these pilots taking off simultaneously. All of them, none of them are going to give away any kind of leeway out there. NJ falling a bit behind in position number 4, and Dishank is really stepping up the game right now. Dishank looks like he wants to really get a hold of Devnath at this point in time. And Dishank and NJ, both of them from the same team, while Rex is flipping in and out for position number 3. Rex is really a gate behind, just a gate behind NJ out there, and NJ is really back into position number 2 now. NJ is back in the lead as Rex is right behind him. Look at that, Rex is chasing that green trailed up pilot, that is NJ, and Rex is now competitive. Look at that between NJ and Rex. This is mind-boggling. This is absolutely mind-boggling, and I cannot even tell you the milliseconds of difference these two pilots are. They have gotten so perfect, NJ and Rex. It's hard to even now say who is going to win. Look at that. Look at that. That's NJ right in front of. That's actually Dishank now right in front of Rex, and NJ. Oh, now NJ is falling a little behind. Hope he covers ground out there. But now let's see, let's draw our attention to Dishank, because Dishank is really the second one to complete. And we will now position our eyes on Rex, who finishes third. Obviously, the competition between him and NJ was very, very close. And in that blockbuster of a round, Rex really emerged as the mega player of this round. What a thrill! What a thrill of a round this was! And to give it up to these pilots. It's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous night, gorgeous competition. And the finals now, let's see. This fourth round is complete, I believe, for these pilots. And there you go. Let's uh, now go to the score sheet, the official score sheet. Look at that for group number 1. Devnath won it for Blitzkrieg over Dishank. Rex won it for Blitzkrieg again. Then we have a 25 milliwatt who won it for D team, one of the rounds. So these are cumulative points over the multiple rounds. NJ also won 3 points. So it looks like. Let's see which team is getting into. Yeah, it looks like Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, it looks like, is going into the finals, and congratulations to Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg and Mac 1. Let's now see our finals draw out here. This is going to be the finals battle. This is what the final score sheet looks like right now. We are going to have the same format now, but this is the order. Top pilots now competing head on. Absolutely thrilling. Bangos, Devnath, Logic, Rex, Nishant, Chesh, and then the six pilots again. So let's start the finals now. 3 rounds and plus one. Let's go, pilots. Whenever you are ready, we are all ready as well. Uh, we are waiting for the count of five. Whenever the pilots are ready to go, let's switch to one of the pilots out here. We'll take on Devnath and right away jump into his FPV feed at the count of one. We have started out there already. Devnath is looking super good out there. Nishant right behind him, and Rex now right behind him. Between Rex and Nishant, there's absolutely no difference out there. It will be really interesting to watch the race between Rex and, oh, now it's between Rex and I don't know what's happening. Two, three, four spots. The initial round is going to be so competitive that the one who just moves a little bit away in a few gates is going to set the pace for laps number two and three. So Logic is just getting away from Nishant at this point in time. Let's focus on to Logic. Let's see how he handles the pressure while Nishant is coming back. But Logic is supremely chasing it out there right now. He's really making it up while Nishant is covering good ground as well. He's really making it up for Logic, making it hard for him, putting him under constant pressure. Now, both of them hardly a getaway. Look at that between Nishant and Logic. Absolutely no difference. That's the white trail of the pilot. And Nishant has now covered ground. He is in spot number two. Wow. Logic is both of them at the same gates unless Nishant messes up. Oh, looks like he's lost his way a little bit. Logic, that allows Logic to take the lead. Oh my God, that was. But Nishant came again back up. So looks like Logic is going to take. The position number two at this point in time. Yes, he has, and Nishant will complete just a few seconds behind him. What a race this turned out to be. While position number four would belong clearly to Chesh. Rex, who was like the god of the rounds between himself and NJ, disappointing for him to complete in position five. He will not be involved. He will not be really happy with his performance. We lost Bangos. He disconnected from the session, but we want to bring him back for the round number two now, which will be starting. Meanwhile, that gives our pilots a few rounds. Oh, I'm sorry, the pit area. Uh, okay, now you can see. I'm so sorry about that. It gets a little messy, but yeah, just sorry for that. Now you can see. Thank you for your comments, Anurag Singh and Prince Deer. We just did not switch in time, but we will wait for round number two now to begin. Whenever these pilots are ready, round number two should be good to go now. Thanks for that. Okay, so camera one we will switch to. Looks like that's the camera to watch the race from. That's what we are getting a signal from the pilots, and we have switched to that view now. Let's see. We are bang on in this round number two final coming up for you. We are bang on. Look at those pilots on the podium in less than three going up to the stage. All will be taking up in the same form and control. Look at Logic. We are now really chasing him. Camera one, number one is looking really beautiful. Let's look it up from camera number two or three, but it's really camera number one. That's really nice out there. For this part of the track, it does not look clean. So let's switch to our default view out there. This is a much nicer view. Bangos this time is right behind Devnath, and he's just one gate behind Devnath. Wow, now 2 gates behind. Devnath is slowly increasing the gap between himself and Bangos. Logic is chasing up behind him. Logic is wanting to really take it up to Bangos out there, but I hope it's not too late for him. Really, another lap, a whole lap left for Logic, while Rex is falling a little behind. Now Chesh, let's switch to Chesh's speed out there. Another very, very intelligent pilot. He has to really get it up together now for lap number 3 if he has to see himself in position number 3. And Nishant, who's also an ingenious pilot, all of these very, very competitive. He fell to spot number 6. So not really um, default for seeing Chesh and Rex fall a little behind, but Logic, Devnath, Bangos, and Logic have completed in 1, 2, 3, while we are waiting for Nishant now for position number 4 to complete his share of the gates, and Chesh also completes in position number 5. So quickly take a look at that scorecard out there. It was close, very close between Nishant and Chesh. Again, milliseconds of difference, about 600 or so, and Rex finished in last. Well, Devnath really won this round number 2. Now we will be going into round number 3 straight away. Let's again tune in to our top pilots out here. This time we'll be switching views and tuning into Bangos. Let's see. And at less than 5, we are all set to go in this thriller of round number 3. After this, there'll be one more decider of a round that'll be coming up. So stay tuned for this exciting finals. Grab a soda, grab some popcorn, and really tune in with all the excitement and the energy that's flowing out to you from this heaven of a universe that we are bringing out here straight to your homes. And we are streaming from our studios in Mumbai all across the world through our YouTube and Facebook channels, bringing one of a kind event, IDRL Stay at Home Championships, season 1, episode number 6. This is 4 teams competing, 2 are out. It's between Blitzkrieg and Mach 1 eventually. Bangos is in position number 2. Let's chase it out with Devnath, who is clearly up in position number 1. He has always done really well for his team. Chesh, who is right behind the other pilots, will want to improve his speed a little bit this time around. He is having a tough time with those strangles, but Rex maybe really trying to get a little sensitive with his movement out there, not getting that right speed, but when he's releasing all that pressure, he seems to really gradually rise it up. Let's see if that happens. Meanwhile, Logic is in position number 3, and Bangos, oh wow, it was very close between Bangos and Logic, and Bangos, I think it was just milliseconds of difference between Bangos and Logic. Now Nishant and Rex. Nishant is coming right behind Rex. It's he is about 6 gates away, but Rex is far into his finish lap out here. Looks like he will be finishing at position number 4. There you go. And Nishant is the one taking spot number 5. And finally, Chesh, who also did well, but just ran out of time at position number 5. So that's the round number 3 complete, and then one final round coming in for this finals. Just sit tight. This is the final round, guys, of the finals. Whenever the pilots are ready, we will go on. This is the final of the finals, and then we will be grouping the points and seeing who is going to win this mega championship, episode number 6. Stay at home, IDRL. Now let's go whenever the pilots are ready at less than 5, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Devnath has taken a supreme lead out here as always, and Rex it was. Rex really flew in really high. So let's see what Logic is up to, because he's now at position number 2. But Logic, between Logic and Nishant. So Nishant and Logic, wow, they are a very competitive duo out here right now. Logic is about 5 gates away, but he can make up that difference at any point in time. But it's not really, it doesn't really matter because they are from the same team. It would be interesting to watch the race between Rex and Logic, actually. So let's tune into Rex out there, who is from a different team. And Rex comes into the lead right now. Nishant is now in position number 4. Rex has beaten up Nishant, but now Nishant again flowing back into position number 3. Wow, what an exciting finals this is turning out to be. And this is the group between 3 and 4, between Rex and Nishant, that's going to decide the final the round and the points and the win for this championship. So lots of pressure, lots of excitement coming up. Rex again, just now pulling a little back. Nishant looking really good and in fine control of his quad. So Mac 1 will be really very happy with their performances. Logic was in for spot 2. He lost to Devnath, looks like, but not. I don't think it was between Logic and Devnath. It was between Bangos and Devnath. But anyway, it was a very competitive round here. Let's wait for Chesh and finally Bangos. I don't think he went beyond lap number 1, or we never started with Bangos. So that's the story out there. We have completed with the finals. Now it would be really interesting to switch over to our scorecard quickly and see who has won this championship out here. We see the final scorecard out here. Can you guess, viewers, who has won this championship? Uh, Tell us who do you think has won it. Let's see. Devnath from Blitzkrieg, then Logic from Mac 1, then Nishant from Mac 1, Devnath. So is it Mac 1 or Blitzkrieg? Oh, who has won it out here? Okay, so let's see. We have episode 6 leaderboard out here now that we'll be showing you, and it's going to be right above, it looks like. Yeah, there we see in front of us. And episode 6, Mac 1 with 24 points. A big congratulations, round of applause to them. Mac 1 did really well out there with their top talented pilots, especially Logic and Nishant and Bangos and Blitzkrieg coming in 10 points away. A little disappointing for them. And D team should also be not discouraged, but they did really well in this championship, and consistency really failed to take off any points altogether. So this was quite an episode. What a wonderful performance that we saw today. We want to finish off this episode with a big thank you to our sponsors out there: Zine Robotics, Velocidrone, Team Black Sheep, One Martian Ways, ADR, Quadcopters. All of you, thank you so much for your wonderful sponsorship. And I also want to thank all the viewers out there who tuned in today, and also some of our friends out there like Richin finally joining in. Do drop in your comments and do see our recorded broadcast as well. This was really enjoyable for me, and I myself am going to see the recorded version of this many times over. It was such a thriller. So at the end of it, if you want to get into this excitement, just go to droneracingindia.com and sign up as a pilot. It's free membership, and then you can join our very large community, which is now approaching 2,000 pilots in strength, and we have all the support for you. Or just Google IDRL. Also visit our Facebook and YouTube channels. Facebook at facebook.com/drone racing India, and just search for IDRL on YouTube. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and thank you to all the pilots and the viewers. And stay at home and watching Stay at Home Championships for the next episode on Saturday from Saturday Night Live with episode number 7. Till then, it's a good night and goodbye from all of us from our Mumbai studios and across India and the world, from all the pilots. Thank you very much. See you next week.